Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your weekday daily card reading where we dive into the cards and see what's in store with a message from Spirit. I'm Jeanette Byro. I'm a medium and a cosmic channeler. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for checking it out. And to all of you that come back regularly and share your comments, your hearts, your all of that goodness, thank you so much for joining me again. So I have to start by saying, yesterday, in yesterday's message, being the 7th, we also had two significant things which really represented that new beginning, something is about to happen message from yesterday. And it didn't come to me until after I'd recorded, but yesterday was the 7-7 portal, okay? And also, Uranus moved into Gemini. Now, that is a very revolutionary movement. Something that happens, I believe, every 84 years. All of you that are astrologers here watching this, feel free to correct me if that's not accurate. Um, but it's a big revolutionary energy, a change maker energy of sudden changes, shifts, new beginnings, that kind of thing. It can bring a bounty of blessings as well as it can bring a bounty of what we may perceive as not blessings, but the point of it is to change. So it's a very big energetic shift as well. So we have that plus the full moon this week. So there's a lot of energy in the air. So with that being said, I'm very curious what's in the cards this week. I'm using the Healing Waters Oracle by Rebecca Campbell this week. It felt very watery this week, very emotional. Also, the energetics of water. Again, check yesterday's message. Um, so I'm just going to see what Spirit has to share before we dive into the cards. So just hold on one sec here. Interesting. They're saying there is an experience right now of a breaking down of the time-space continuum as we perceive to know it. It's a lot of words and expanded thinking. Now, what does that mean? How do we understand that? They're saying basically there is a further disintegration of reality as you perceive it. So what that means, again, we're getting the layers, right? Now to the human layer. What that means, they're showing me is we will really be perceiving a lot of different glitches in time. Time feeling fast, time feeling slow. Glitches in your reality as well. We've talked about this before. Conversations that you do not remember having, or ones you do remember having and the other person has zero recollection of it. You may be noticing vivid dream states of different parallel lives that you're living. Again, this perception of how we see reality and how we move through reality is changing. And we're really awakening, they're saying very quickly, to this newer and more real reality. So reality as we know it is disintegrating, shifting into a much wider reality. And the best way I could describe that would be like, for those of you that are colorblind, and if you've ever put on those colorblind glasses that allow you to see the colors, the reality that you've lived when you put those glasses on changes, right? You perceive more. So that's essentially what's happening for us within these different realities. We're perceiving more. Okay. So something very interesting to notice, and they're saying, they're like, we keep repeating themes within this so that we aren't rattled when we have the experience, because again, knowledge is power. So if we understand something and then it happens, we can reference that understanding and be like, oh, okay, I know what this is, or what's a part of this. I don't need to freak out about it, because really our spirit guides and our galactic guides are really wanting to counteract fear energy and give us the ability to be very like conscious and present versus being yanked back in fear, right? That's what helps make the change. So, first card that jumped out here is the thank you card. This is really interesting. This card says gratitude and appreciating what's sustaining you. So again, that's always a strong foundation point in change energy, in transformation, is gratitude, right? Being grateful for the things that are working well in your life, for the things that are in alignment, giving gratitude to those really helps to ground you. So that's like the umbrella energy within all of this, okay? So let's see what else we have here. Of course. Oh, I love this so much. Where do I even start? Okay. Remember how much we talked about ripples? And I even talked about this in the podcast, in the New York podcast that I did yesterday. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. The first card out we have here is the ripple effect. Now, this says part of something bigger, details are taken care of. This really speaks to the fact that everything that we do and choose and decide creates a ripple effect that does have an effect on everything around you. Again, I really highly recommend listening to that podcast. Your energy, your frequency, and how you bring it into the world and what you do with it has a big effect. And so, Spirit's wanting to say, like, hey, recognize this, that you are a big player in these transformations and the way in which these transformations move. Because when you recognize this and you're really conscious of your actions, we then get the wishing well card. And this one says unexpected gifts, kindness, and karmic jewels. So when you're working with the fact that you are connected into the ripples, and these ripples do create your reality, you then have the ability to receive from the wishing well, which is these karmic alignments, right? These things coming together, these unexpected gifts or acts of kindness. This is where you have control in this situation, your ripples and how that plays into what you manifest, what you bring forward, okay? At the same time, with this shifting of reality that Spirit was talking about, we also have the water oracle. And this talks about psychic abilities, acting on visions, and it's destined. So with this change in reality, like Spirit was talking about, you're really stepping into an ability to receive more visions, understand visions, see through that matrix energy, and really decide your path. And you're moving alongside these destiny points that you also created in your blueprint. Because remember, we talk about that a lot. We create our life blueprint with our guides, and we create these destiny points in that blueprint so that when we come into this lifetime, when we have free will, we get to choose how we're going to interact with these destiny points. So we have ripples and karmic jewels and destiny points all at play right now. Okay. But you also have a capacity within all of that to choose how you want to be in that and to bring more of it forward. Right? Your clairvoyant visions and abilities are really like amping up right now too. So when you sit in that energy of gratitude, you can bring all of these things forward. You can recognize the ripples you create and how that is affecting in a good way the world around you. You can amplify the karmic jewels within that wishing well, bringing those manifestations forward. And the spirit world is giving you more insights in being able to see through the veil. That's what they're showing me, the veil being very thin right now. And this is giving you more access. And I asked them, like, it's really thin. I'm like, is this astrologically, like an astrological alignment that's making it thin? And they're like, no, actually, it's your consciousness. So all of you that are recognizing this and living in this energy of gratitude are creating a very thin veil, which allows you to interact more with the energetics, with the ether, with everything to be creating the reality in which you want and the healing and all of that. So there's this really neat next level growth and ascension and interaction happening right now. So it's really for you to notice what you notice, but really pay attention to these things. This is really interesting. This is really, really interesting. And again, with the water oracle, I want to finish with this point. With the water oracle, Spirit's also showing me that really allow water to be a conduit for you right now. Just like we talked about yesterday, allow water to be this conduit. Speak to it, bring information through it, allow it to not only move through your being with energetics and healing, but also to move through you with how it can bring in consciousness, information, understandings frequencies, all of that. Be intentional with your water and how you interact with it in the shower, in the bath, washing your hands, when you drink it, placing it out under the moon energy, coming up to that moon energy. It's really significant. Really notice what's coming through water. All right, everyone, I will leave that with all of you. I'm very intrigued by this. This is like some really beautiful energy. One more thing I want to say. You remember yesterday's card at the end was the start of something. It was the beginning of something. And I really love this ripple effect and how it plays into that. Like there's something that started and there's a ripple effect and the details are taken care of, but you are a part of it also. So I feel like this is our own personal expression of our ripples. And I also feel like there's a universal expression of its ripples and they're going to meet in the middle and co-create. So I will leave that with all of you for now. Thank you so much as always for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So have a beautiful rest of your day.